Good evening, Lake Orion. Welcome. Well, I guess I'm back hosting. Ian Weatherspoon, for some reason, got into some traffic in Indiana. I'm your host. I am. Between Taorminas. Yes, indeed. Welcome to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. As I said, I'm with Sammy this week again. Ian Weatherspoon not around again. He got caught in traffic in Indiana.
You know, he must be singing Indiana right now.
He must be. He must be loving the friends in IPFW right now.
Maybe.
All right, let's talk about some...
First, I'd like to welcome a family member. Victory Green, welcome to the Dallas Dot. Welcome to the BT family. And I'll send you more praises later on.
Disturbing. All right, let's talk about the Tigers. The Tigers are up a game on the Kansas City Royals.
Game and a half.
Game and a half. What do you think about that?
When you look at the Tigers, I mean, like, this is a team, in my opinion, that, you know, they've weathered the storm. Kansas City's got to play tonight against Chicago. And they got to make up a game, I know, with the Cleveland Indians, where they're losing. I mean, but the big series coming up this weekend for the Tigers against the Royals. I mean, we'll see what happens.
So you think that Cleveland Indians are out of the series?
Yes, they're out because Tigers took them out. It's now between Kansas City and let's not forget, there's a 4-game series coming up between the Mariners and the Angels that we got to keep an eye on. And if Seattle loses, gets swept, they're out. Then that means the winner would win the division and the loser would go to the wild card.
So pretty much you're looking at potentially so you're looking at maybe the Angels taking the Mariners out.
Maybe.
What if the Mariners win the series?
Then Seattle's right in the thick of it.
Okay, so would that be a danger? Who do you think's in the danger zone? Tigers or Royals?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna say Oakland because
Oakland.
Because like they don't have any hitting. You know, they have to pitch to win games. They've been scuffling lately in August, September. And, of course, seeing a team, they don't want to see the Tigers in the playoffs. And I don't think they want to see Kansas City in the playoffs, especially with that bullpen. But I just think right now Oakland's in a really dangerous spot right now. Even though they won 2 or 3 from Seattle, I just think that they're in a really dangerous spot.
So you think that – so you've got Oakland in a dangerous predicament right now, though Oakland beat Seattle yesterday in 10 innings.
Yes.
So you feel going forward that Oakland's going to be the team that stumbles out.
I think Oakland's going to be the team that stumbles out.
Kansas City and Seattle.
Yes, I think when you look at it here, I think if Seattle loses the series to the Angels, then no doubt it'll be Oakland against maybe Kansas City, you know. But if we but when you look at it here, if the you know, I think Kansas City's going to be in the playoffs anyway. You know, I just think that if Seattle loses out, then they don't deserve to make the playoffs.
So you're saying Kansas City deserves to be in the playoffs, but you just think it's going to be a wild card.
I think it'll be a wild card.
So you think Tigers are going to win the Central?
I think they'll win the Central, you know what I mean? But it's not going to be an easy thing to finish off.
So you think that the Tigers are going to play Baltimore?
I think the Tigers are going to play Baltimore.
How do they match up Baltimore?
They match up very well because they can hit, especially at Campton Yards. I mean, like, I don't think the Orioles have a chance against Verlander, Scherzer, or Price in the playoffs.
So you think that the Orioles will be in trouble?
Yes.
Even though Orioles have got a pretty good pitching staff.
Yeah, but they got no Chris Davis, so he's suspended 25 games.
Because of the
PED use.
The PED use. So going forward, you think that the Tigers are... So if the Tigers just keep winning, they got the Twins starting tomorrow.
Yep.
Will they have a nice advantage going into the playoffs if they make it?
If they do make it, I think they will because even though they got to go on the road, I just think that the Tigers in the long haul, I think are going to benefit from being on the road. I mean, like, but But, it's really the pressure be on Baltimore because Baltimore would still be the new kids in the block trying to get in the playoffs.
Right. So you look at teams like, you're talking about Baltimore. I mean, you got teams like New York, Boston, Toronto, Tampa Bay. Proven track records, all 4 of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
They're out and Baltimore's in. What's
Right.
your take about Baltimore?
Baltimore's in a unique team. Buck Showalter's done a very good job with the O's. They got a nice pitching staff. But I just think when you look at it, but they're known for their hitting. I mean, you got Adam Jones in the outfield, who very good player there. You got Chris Davis, who's out for the series right now. I mean, if they do get there, I just think Baltimore, you know what I mean? They're going to have to hit to win games.
What do you think about the Dodgers hitting 17 runs on the Giants?
Ouch. And Tim Lincecum came in that game.
As
Ouch.
a reliever.
As a reliever. Ouch.
Don't you enjoy when he looks at the ball, at the baseball?
Yeah, especially when he has that hair, that golden hair, going like this. I wish you could do it slow motion.
Maybe Joe Velez will be nice and do it and have you do it in slow motion.
He could.
Where's that panic button meter when you need it? Anyways, you've got, going forward, you've got, okay, thanks. Anyways, you've got a situation to where the Tigers are pretty much, J.D. Martinez or Victor Martinez has been the MVP, but Alex Avila has been the closer.
He has some clutch hits. I mean, he had a 2-run bomb against Cleveland. J.D. Martinez, I would probably say, would be the MVP of this team because the way that he's been, nobody expected him to bring this much power to the Tigers, especially on a minor league contract, especially what he has done in that 5th spot lineup, because everybody thought Torrey Hunter was going to be the 5th spot, that guy in the lineup. It's a bad fit, but J.D. Martinez has really been a huge impact on this team.
Does that make guys like Torrey Hunter tradable, or will they release him?
I don't know. I mean, he's a free agent after this year.
So we'll have
to see how it goes. You don't have a lot of outfielders, prospects in the farm right now.
Right. So any final thoughts on the Tigers?
They'll be all right. We'll see what happens this week against Minnesota, and then they got to play Chicago. They got Kansas City this weekend, and then they got Chicago.
All right. Well, that concludes our segment on the Tigers. We'll be right back to Between Taorminas on ONTV.
Residents of the Orion area are encouraged to safely dispose of toxic chemicals by attending one of several No-Haz events scheduled throughout the year. Orion Township will host an event on Saturday, September 20th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Friendship Park and is free to residents. Drop off computers and electronics, paint, pesticides, cleaners, and batteries. A team of trained volunteers and professionals will be on hand to collect, sort, and package the items for proper disposal or recycling. For more information, visit nohaz.com or call 248-858-5656.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. Sam, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
Look at that empty blank chair.
Wish I had the double trophy there.
He's chilling in Indiana. Speaking of the 00 trophy, it's on the line this week. The Dragons and the Wildcats. Is it a rivalry with Lake Orion and Oxford? Steve Roberts recently said, who's the girls basketball coach, said that Lake Orion and Oxford, because of the record, Lake Orion is 26-7-4, is not considered a rivalry.
I have to disagree with him. It is a rivalry because when this rivalry was reinstalled back in 2010, when you look at Oxford won that game in 2011, and that was rough because to watch because the way that Oxford won that game, you know what I mean. But this is a rivalry game. The last 3 years have been close. 2012 actually was close. Last year was close, and I expect this year's match to be very close as well. But when you look at Oxford, of course, this is probably one of their I wouldn't call it the last hurrah, but this is a huge game, I think, for their quarterback, Glacier Wellington, especially because he's a senior. He's going up against, this is probably going to be his biggest test he's faced this season, no offense to Romeo. I just think when you look at this in Stony Creek, but also in this game, I think that he's going to see a team, I think it's bigger. up bigger against him, but he runs a lot. He can throw the ball. He can make plays, and he killed Lake Orion last year virtually almost by himself.
Obviously, talking, how important is this? Is good. You talk about Glacier Wellington, that this game could be all about him in terms of it's his quest, it's his destiny.
Let's not forget they got a running back named Scott Schusterback, who's a very good running back too. He had the only touchdown against Stony Creek. Mm-hmm. He had 2 touchdowns against Romeo. He did well last week against Troy Athens. But this is going to be but like I said, this is going to be a huge opportunity here. I just think right now that when you look at this game here, this is Wellington's quest, but it's also a huge game for Studeback, especially to see how he goes up against a decent defense.
Obviously, you talk about the Dragons' defense. They're going to be tested. One thing about Oxford, they run a lot of power, run a lot of trap.
They run dive, they run ISO. Yeah. They'll also run veer. They'll also run veer. Mm-hmm. They'll also run some veer option. Also, they'll run some pitch and misdirection.
And I brought this up in the last few years we played Oxford, is the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Lake Orion approaches this game in a business approach. Oxford goes in very emotional, geeked up, psyched up. Will that emotion backfire on Oxford?
Well, it depends. Because Oxford, this state, they haven't been 3-0 in a while.
Right.
This is the first time that
in
a long while they've been 3-0. I just think right now, and also you're playing your arch rival week 4 instead of playing them week 1. I think it's going to be a huge I think both teams are going to relax in this game. I think that both teams are going to be, but there's pressure on Oxford because they're 3-0 right now. They're trying to be like that team that spoils the party, and this is a team that does a lot of time possession football. Of course, that's the key to this game is time possession football. But I think there is a lot of pressure on Oxford in this game. Lake Orion the same way too, because that loss to Chippewa Valley has really hurt this team in so many ways. And Chippewa Valley, on the other hand, it's not helping Lake Orion.
Can Oxford stop Lake Orion's offense?
No, because they did score. They shut out Stony Creek. Stony Creek's is an offensively challenged team. But when you look at Troy Athens, they shut them down. They gave 20 points. But do I think this team can stop Lake Orion's offense? No, because you look at I don't think they're going to have issues with Matt Krause. I think they're going to have issues with Zach Sturzo. I think they're going to have issues with Keith Fields. But the key to this game is, can the Dragons balance it out, especially when you look at this team. They don't really have much of a passing attack, so that's going to be a huge problem. I think depth's also a huge problem on Oxford's side of things, but that's why they have to use that time possession football in that stance. It counters depth. It almost happened to Clarkson last year when Oxford had them almost beat, and Clarkson somehow found a way to win that game 30-27. I just think right now that it comes down to time possession, and it comes down to who has the ball the longest.
Do you think, though, too, with Oxford playing Lake Orion and then playing Clarkston, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a bad thing because because you're going to have the emotion from one side of things, especially. You're playing a big school like Lake Orion. You're playing arch rival, and then you're going to be playing defending state champions on your homecoming. That's a huge problem right there. Because when you look at this matchup, Oxford's going to have a lot. They're going to have a lot of emotions spent, especially when you look at the two teams that they got to play. Both teams feature different styles of offenses. Both teams have big lines. I just think it could wear down on Oxford.
Obviously, going into this week, there's been a lot of talk about the rivalry renewed, that this could possibly be a MI Prep Zone game. A lot of news media is going to look at coming to this game. What is your projection for this game?
I like Lake Orion in this game because of the size up front offense on the offensive line. I just think that the line up front's going to be a huge difference in this game. But I don't know how the Dragons will I don't know how the Dragons will stop Wallington and Stugenbach in that game. But I just think that Lake Orion up front is much bigger up there, and I think they're going to give Oxford's defensive line a lot of problems. You know, Oxford's got some. They got some grittiers. They got some guys that can they're going to battle. But I just think Lake Orion in the end. I think with their size up front, and I think Matt Krause is going to have a big game against Oxford's defense. I just think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think that I'm probably going to say right now 35-31 Lake Orion.
So just like last year.
Be just like last year.
I think Lake Orion wins this game, and I think it's going to be by more. Because the reason why I think of it, I look at the depth of Lake Orion. I look at Oxford's going to be, the emotion of Oxford is going to, it can overwhelm a team. It's all about playing football. I think that Oxford tends to focus too much on the hype of the rivalry between Lake Orion and Oxford.
If I'm a Dragon fan right now, I'm worried about this game, especially your defense, can you stop this team?
The motivation on both sides is very intense. Because Oxford is playing at home. Oxford, the quarterback. Also, Lake Orion's got motivation too.
Let's not forget this Lake Orion played a terrible first half against Troy last week.
Right, but don't forget, Lake Orion had 3 home games. Mm-hmm. Oxford is the reason why. Mm-hmm. We'll go into detail a little bit later, but not today. That'll be for another time.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Well, when you look at this game, if Lake Orion played like it in the first half against Troy, they will not beat Oxford. That is no doubt.
We're going to talk about the Detroit Lions and we'll be right back to Between Taorminas on ONTV.
Hello, Lake Orion and Oakland County. This is Sammy Taormina here, talking a new show here called OA Now. We're going to talk about sports from football to basketball to volleyball to track and field to soccer, cross country, etc. here on OA Now on ONTV. What the what?
That's your slow-mo.
What? Damn, I'm trying to imitate Tim Lincecum.
Wow. Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. That was a nice close-up.
I was trying to intimidate Tim Lincecum. Now just imagine if I had his hair.
I'm scared. Anyways, let's talk about the Lions. Lions lost to Carolina. What's your take?
They are who we thought they were. And they can't even score. They look so bad on offense. They don't have a defense. I mean, Cam Newton just basically went like this all over them. And basically, they're in trouble next week with the Cheeseheads.
So you think the Lions are in trouble with the Packers?
Yes.
Even with the history that the Packers have at Ford Field?
Yes.
The Packers have a bad history at Ford Field,
Yeah, I know. Sarah Voss will be really happy about it.
So you really think that the Packers are going to beat the Lions?
Yes, Packers are going to beat the Lions.
What would Ian Weatherspoon say to you?
Ian Weatherspoon, he probably think I'd be right.
You think you think so?
Yes, Ian Weatherspoon right now is hanging out in Indiana right now.
Was his friends from IPFW?
Yes. I think if you look at the Lions,
thank you.
They don't have a defensive secondary. They don't have an offensive line. Their offensive line was horrible. I mean, like Calvin Johnson played pathetic.
Do you think a lot of it had to do with Carolina playing good or the Lions playing bad?
Lions playing bad. Carolina's a good defense. They're a good team, but I just think that this was all the Lions.
So pretty much you're looking at the Lions surrendering against the Packers.
Yes, pretty much. There'll be a lot of cheeseheads there.
Yeah, but there'll be a lot of Lion fans there too.
Yeah, but I think the Lions are going to lose to Green Bay.
You really think so?
Yes.
Okay. Any final thoughts?
When you look at the Lions, you know what I mean? This is what they thought they were, and they gave 24 points. They only scored 7. This is probably one of the most overrated teams in the league. Thankfully they're not the New Orleans Saints right now, who are sitting at 0-2.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to do call-outs this week.
You first.
All right, I got 2 call-outs this week. First of all, I'm going to call out my current cell phone provider, Sprint. Sprint, why? Simple. Look, your plan. You're saying that I'm using too much gigabytes. Sprint, we came up with an agreement that allowed me to use a certain amount of gigabytes and in return for a certain amount of money, for less amount of money. Sprint, don't back up on your word. You know, look, I enjoy my internet. I enjoy having my Wi-Fi. I enjoy being on my internet. I enjoy having my phone. But at the same time, I get these emails saying that my family members have gone over the gigabytes. Sprint, it's time to stop. You know, I'll take care of this. You're a great telephone provider. You're a great cell phone provider. You know, just like AT&T and Verizon and all that, and T-Mobile. I mean, T-Mobile never covered my area, but you know, Sprint, come on, you can do better. Come on, you can do better. You know it. My next call out involves the Lake Orion football team. Why? Simple. I know I called you out last week. This is your first test. See what you're made of. A lot of people said you guys can't beat Oxford. Showtime, gentlemen. I think you can. I've openly said you were going to beat Oxford, and Lake Orion has a tradition of beating Oxford, and I expect that tradition to continue. Lake Orion, it's your choice, but represent that letter, that name on the front of your jersey, proud. It's your choice. Will the 00 trophy come back home to Lake Orion? We're going to find out. I hope it does. I truly hope it does. My last call out, this guy has a habit of, for some reason, of just not showing up on our show when he wants to. The name, Ian Weatherspoon. Why? Simple. Look, Ian, you know, my feeling about this is you need to be honest. You need to be up straight. Last week you went to a Tiger game. This week you went to Indiana. You did all that without telling me or Sam. Come on, Ian. You're better than that. Ian, I can't believe it. I cannot believe that you would not tell me or Sam or anyone. Come on, I thought you're better than that. Ian Weatherspoon, shame on you. You're letting down your fans, you're letting down your viewers, you're letting me and Sam down, and more importantly, you're letting yourself down. Ian, shame.
Well, I'm not going to do much of a call today. I'm going to have people bowing down to this to our newest family member, of course, the newest
Not part of my family.
The newest mascot, of course, of all time. People like Bill Reese, Bob Dow, Dave Tooley, Eric Jennings. Let's see, who else? Jay Shira, among others, need to bow down to the newest mascot of the Dallas Stars. On beat, and also Ian Weatherspoon and Joe Velez also needs to bow down and welcome to me, Victory Green! Yeah! Victory Green! This is a good thing. It's a good, a good role model for children. And what the heck is that thing doing right there? And also here, Victory Green is a good role model for children, and it's a good role model for society. And people like Bill Reese, Bob Dowd, Eric James, Dave Tooley, Joe Velez, Jay Shira, all need to
Ian?
And Ian Weatherspoon all need to bow down before Victory Green. And don't think he's an imbecile. He's a winner. His favorite color is Victory Green. He dislikes sharks, ducks, hates the color blue, and hates the color red. Yes.
Are you done?
Of course. Victory Green, the perfect mascot for all sports.
Good night, Between Taorminas. Have a great night, and God bless Lake Orion.